Good. Well, greetings to our good people. How are you guys doing? Hopefully, you are rocking on well and everything is cruising on nicely. For this far, it has been load. It has been load, and we say Alhamdulillah. We are really thankful. We are really great. Good. So, our people, straight to the business. We don't want to waste time. We just hope everything is smart on your side. Your exams are moving on good. You are good with your papers. You are doing good with your papers, and everything is good. Everything is good. Kila kitu iko sawa. Well, so most of you will be finishing your exams next week. Next week, mid next week, most of you will be packing. You'll be packing, going back home, going for the holidays. Like you'll be done with the 844. Most of you, and for some this week, today even on a Friday. Today Friday, most of you will be some will be doing what? Some will be finishing the exams and saying bye bye to what? Bye bye to 844 curriculum. 844 curriculum. So good people. As you know, tomorrow on a Friday, we'll be sitting for our biology paper 3 practical paper. Our biology paper 3 practical paper. So, as we remembered we had tackled on what? We had tackled on part A. We had tackled on part A on matters on matters revision and the prediction part of the biology paper 3 practical. So today in this video, we want just to discuss on the part B. Remember, we had done the part A, so today we want to handle the part B. We want to handle the part B on prediction and revisions of what? Biology paper 3 practical that will be happening tomorrow on a Friday, on a 14th of Friday, the year 2025. Which month? November month. Good. So straight to the business. Tumesalamiana hapo, hakuna kuwekeana lawama. Tumesalamiana tukasema Mungu ni mkuu, nyinyi mko poa, pia sisi tuko poa. Hapo hakuna kulaumiana, hakuna mtu tumemwacha nje, tumesalamiana wote. Good. So straight to the business. We got this 2025 KCSE Biology Paper 3 Practical Revision Prediction by Mombasa Tuition and IT School, and it is a part B. So for instance, this thing that we are going to discuss here is just a part B of the part A. So we had said like tomorrow is on a practical day, then you pass by the laboratory, or in case in any way maybe your lab technician or your biology teacher or your head of department or HOD of sciences alikuambia ama aliwaambia like you guys mkienda kesho kwa practical yenu mtakutana na vitu ngapi? Mtakutana na vitu hii na hii. And for our case, let's say you are going to the biology, doing the biology practical, and you meet with these 3 types of specimen. We have the specimen A, the specimen B, and specimen C. Specimen B, specimen A, and specimen C. So specimen B and A are plants, while specimen C is an animal. So in case you meet these types of things or these types of specimen, what are the possible questions that can run in your mind, or what are the possible things that you can meet inside that practical paper? That is what we want to discuss in here. Faster bila kupoteza time. Watu waende wafanye practical, wa rest for the weekend, waende next week kumalizia nini? Waende next week kumalizia exams zao. Good. So we have these 3 types of specimens: specimen B, specimen A, and specimen C. So the things that can run, or the questions that can run in your mind, or they can be brought on our paper 3 exams are like this. First, we have a classification related type of a question. A classification related type of a question. Like you are bringing a classification type of related of a question that they can ask you. For example, they can start with asking, like you are provided, let's say we are starting with which specimen? We are starting with specimen B and specimen A. Specimen B, I can say, is just the Lantana Camara. The Lantana Camara, while the specimen A is what? A Sukuma Wiki, or call it a Kel. So you are provided with these 2 specimens, and they bring you a question on classification what? Classification related. So the first question on classification related, they can task you on like you say, what is the scientific name of each of the specimen? Maybe the specimen what? The specimen A and specimen B. Specimen A is the Sukuma Wiki, specimen B is the Lantana Camara. So when you are asked the scientific name for specimen A, which is the Sukuma Wiki, it is what? It is called Oleracivir acephala. What? Ngumu namna hiyo. Then specimen B, which is the Lantana Camara, its scientific name is just known as Lantana Camara. In local language, there back at home in our local language, you always tell it as Lantana. Lantana tunaita tu hivyo. Good. Another classification related type of a question they can ask you, to which kingdom does each belong, and you tell a reason to why. You give reasons. You give reasons to why you say this specimen A and B, they are found in which kingdom. So for both specimen, they belong to the same kingdom. They belong to which kingdom? Kingdom Plantae. The reason why we are saying it, if they belong to kingdom Plantae, is they are multicellular. They have a cell made of cellulose, and they have chloroplasts with chlorophyll, and manufacture their own food through what? Through photosynthesis. Tunakuja, to which divisions that does each belong, specimen A and B? So for both specimen, they belong to division Spermatophyta, and the reason why we are saying they belong to division Spermatophyta is because they are photosynthetic. They are well differentiated into roots, stems and leaves. Ukiangalia Sukuma Wiki, iko na roots, iko na stem, iko na leaves. Ukiangalia the same to Lantana Camara, it also have what? It also has a what? It also has a root, stem and leaves, and they have a well developed vascular system. Good. Tunakuja, wanaweza wakatuliza, to which subdivision, what are the subdivisions of specimen A and B, and you give a reason. So remember, both are plants, so they belong to the same subdivision. Which subdivision? Subdivision Angiosperms. The reason why we are saying they belong to subdivision Angiosperms is because they reproduce by flowers. Simona kila iko na nini, they have what? They have flowers, and their seeds are enclosed. Their seeds are enclosed. That is a reason why you say they are found in subdivision what? Angiosperms or Angiospermatophyta. We can be asked, to which class does each belong? Tunaweza ulizwa, si lazima wakulete zote both, but they can ask you one. They can specify specimen A, to which class does it belong. So specimen A and B share the same class. They belong to class Dicotyledonei. Reason is because they have what? Network venation of leaves. Their leaves are network venated. Good. Tunakuja another type of classification related question. They can task or ask a question like, what are the observable features of the two specimens? What are the observable features of the two specimen? They can bring you on either specimen B. Na wakuulize, what are the observable features of specimen B, which is the Lantana Camara. So the observable features for this specimen, let's start with the Sukuma Wiki. The Sukuma Wiki, when you see at the leaf shape, it has a broad, smooth edge on the, let's say like it is slightly wavy type of a what? Type of a leaf. And the leaf arrangement, it is alternate, and the stem structure, it is herbaceous. The color is green. Then tukikuja kwa observable features za Lantana Camara, we can say it is what? It is oval and rough textured, like the edges are rough. The leaf arrangement, it is opposite, and the stem texture is woody and hairy. And the color, we can say it is green with aromatic smell when you crush it. Again, another type of classification based question that can be tasked on that specimen zetu zenye tuko na specimen A and specimen B. They can ask you, what type of leaf venation does each have? So for both specimen A, it has a reticulate network. It's just a network like type of venation, and it also applied to specimen B, which is what? Which is the Lantana Camara. Tunaweza ulizwa tena, what type of a root system does each have? Ni type root system gani? So for both, since they come from the same class, which class? Dicotyledonei. They also share the same of type of what? Type of a root system, which is what? A tap root system. Tunakuja another type that they can task you on matters classification based. They can task you a question on the dichotomous scale, like you construct a dichotomous scale to distinguish between the two what? The two specimens. Which specimen? Specimen A and B. Specimen A is the Sukuma Wiki, while specimen B is the what? Is the Lantana Camara. So here is the dichotomous scale. The leaves smooth and soft, you go to 2. And the 1B, the leaves rough and hair, you go to Lantana Camara. The stem 2A, tunakuja stem herbaceous stuff, tunapata ni Brassica oleracea, which is the specimen A of ours, which is the Sukuma Wiki, and the stem woody is the Lantana Camara. So you can be tasked a question like that. Na kama si a question like that, they can tell you to give the differences in the observable features of each specimen. Correct. Tunaenda number 2. Another type of question that can be brought on this specimen of ours, wanaweza wakakuuliza an ecology related type of a question. Like tunaanza, wanaweza wakakuuliza, what is the trophic level of each specimen? Which specimen? Specimen A and specimen B. Both are plants. So when they ask about the trophic level in an ecosystem, these two specimens are producers or autotrophs. Why? Because they manufacture their own food using sunlight during what? During photosynthesis. Wanaweza wakakuuliza what is the habitat of each specimen and you give a reason. So when you are asked the habitat, let's say tuanze na Sukuma Wiki specimen A. This habitat of this thing is it grows in cultivated gardens or farms. And the reason why we say that it thrives in moist, fertile and well-drained soils and requires sunlight for what? For photosynthesis. Aya, tunakuja kwa Lantana Camara specimen B. Habitat yake inapatikana kwa bushy or roadside areas and disturbed areas. Reason, it tolerates dry condition, poor soils and full sunlight. Another type of ecology related question, wanaweza wakakuuliza what are adaptations of each specimen to its habitat. Si tumejua sasa inapatikana kwa habitat fulani, inapatikana kwa habitat fulani. So ukikuja kwa specimen kama Sukuma Wiki, the adaptation to its habitat, we can say it has broad leaves to provide a large surface area for photosynthesis. It has a waxy cuticle to reduce what? To reduce water loss. It has a strong taproot so that it can anchor the plant and absorb what? Absorb more water. That is for what? For Sukuma Wiki specimen A. Tunakuja kwa Lantana Camara, the specimen B. Adaptation of the Lantana Camara to its habitat, it's like this. It has hairy leaves which reduces what? Reduces water loss. It has tough stems to prevent wilting in hot and dry conditions. Alafu the Lantana Camara also to produce aromatic oils to discourage what? To discourage the herbivores from feeding on it. Okay, good. Another type of an ecology-based question that can be brought on either of the specimen. Which specimen? Specimen A, which is the Sukuma Wiki, and specimen B, which is the Lantana Camara. They can bring a question like, what is the economic importance of each? So for the case of Sukuma Wiki specimen A, when you are asked the economic importance, you can say it's used as a vegetable, that is food. It's a source of vitamin and minerals. It provides income for farmers. When they grow it and they sell it, they provide what? Income. The Lantana Camara, the economic importance, you can say it's used as an ornamental for plant hedges. Aya, pia inaweza tumika as medicinal value. Traditional uses inaweza tumika kama nini? Kama medicinal value. However, it's also a weed and toxic to what? To livestock. Good. So those are questions based on what? Ecology related. Tunakuja another type of question that can be brought on this specimen A and B of ours. Which specimen? Specimen A, which is the Sukuma Wiki, and specimen B, which is the Lantana Camara. They can bring you a question on gaseous exchange, like how is each specimen adapted for gaseous exchange. So you can say both have numerous stomata, mainly on the lower leaf surface. They have the stomata for gaseous exchange. The large surface area for what? To produce a large surface area for gaseous exchange. They have thin leaves. The thin leaves, what are the function or the adaptation of why they have thin leaves? It's to provide for a short diffusion distance of the what? Of the gases, and also it has air spaces in the mesophyll layer to allow circulation of what? Circulation of gases. Good. Another type of question yenye inaweza letwa kutokana na hizi specimen zetu, wanaweza wakaleta swali kutokana na ile topic inaitwanga nutrition in plants, form 1 topic. Wanaweza wakakuuliza what are adaptations of this specimen to what? The adaptations to what? To photosynthesis. So for our case with Sukuma Wiki, you can say it has broad leaves to trap what? To trap sunlight, and it has a green pigment, the chlorophyll, for light absorption, and it also has thin leaves to allow light penetration. Tunatoka kwa Sukuma Wiki, tunakuja kwa kitu inaitwa Lantana Camara. The Lantana Camara, which is the specimen B, its adaptation for photosynthesis, we can tell like it has green leaves with chlorophyll, and the green leaves for chlorophyll for absorbing what? Absorbing sunlight. Again, for Lantana Camara, it has a hairy texture, and the hairy texture reduces water loss, so photosynthesis continues in dry places. So that's what? That are the type of adaptations towards photosynthesis. Again, another type of question that can be tested on this specimen A and specimen B of ours, wanaweza wakakuletea na swali kutokana na temporary slide preparation. They can tell like ukate each of the what? You cut each. Let's say you can take a Sukuma Wiki or Lantana Camara leaf, you cut it, then you observe it through a microscope. So if a question like that can appear, and a way that either they can ask you, you tell why it is necessary to cut very thin section. The reason why you can cut it in very thin section, it is to allow light to pass through for clear microscopic what? For clear microscopic observation. They can ask you why you stained. Why you stained. The reason why you stained is to make the cell structure in the nucleus to be more visible. They can also task you like, why do you add drops of water on that what? Why do you add drops of water to that specimen of yours that umeikata? The reason why we add drops of water is to prevent the specimen from drying up and maintaining its natural what? Natural shape. And the reason why you use a sharp scalpel, it is what? To obtain clean and thin cuts without damaging what? The cells. And the reason why you can place it on a cover slip, it is to flatten the specimen and to protect the objective lens from water or stain. That is another type of question that can be brought on either of the specimen A and specimen B. Good. Tunakuja pia wanaweza kukutest in what? In another type of question like water relation in plants. Both specimen A and B wanaweza wakakuambia now you cut thin section and you, let's say Sukuma Wiki. Wanaweza kuambia ukate Sukuma Wiki and then you place in different solution and they tell you to account for different what? For different observation. So for our case, you know, this both of them are plants. These are plants and they are plants. So for both specimen A and specimen B, whenever wanakuambia uchukue moja wapo na ukate na uweke kwa different solution. Let's say for a case with both, let's say specimen A, wanakuambia uchukue specimen A alafu ukate section kama ka section, then you place where? Then you place, let's say, in a hypotonic solution. When we say a hypotonic solution, this is a dilute solution. It's a dilute solution. So for a case with a plant cell, any plant cell placed in a hypotonic solution, the process that will be undergone there, it will be osmosis. So when you take a plant cell and put it in a hypotonic what? In a hypotonic solution, water will tend to enter through that plant cell by the process of osmosis. And when water enters, because the plant cell has a cellulose cell wall, it will not burst, it will not do anything. Instead, it will just increase in size, like the cell membrane will be pushed to the cell wall and making the plant to be rigid, rough, and what? To be rigid, you can say it will be rigid and rough. It will become rigid and rough, and that's what we call turgidity. That's when a plant cell is placed where? Is placed in a hypotonic solution, a dilute solution. And also, when this specimen of ours wanakuambia ukate na wakuweke kwa solution, and let's say the solution is a hypertonic solution, a concentrated solution. So when you place a plant cell in a concentrated solution, water will tend to move out of the cell through osmosis. And when water moves out of the cell, what becomes? The cell becomes flaccid, soft, and that process we call what? We call plasmolysis. So in case uletewe kwa story na water relationship, shika hiyo maneno, shika hiyo maneno. Good. Another thing, wanaweza wakakuletea story na uchore hiyo matawi vile unaiona na we label. So whenever they bring you a question on drawing and labeling, just draw the way it is and be in the how to label the parts of a leaf. That is on matters what? That is on matters specimen A and specimen B. The Sukuma Wiki leaf and the Lantana Camara leaf, my people. In case, just in case wakulete, those are the possible questions, those are the possible things that you can answer on specimen A and specimen B. Good. Tunakuja kwa specimen yetu ya mwisho ambayo ni specimen C. Which was the specimen C? The specimen C was the locust, an animal specimen. So for example, you are given this animal specimen. Another type or a question that can be brought on this type of a specimen, they can task you on matters classification. Like, what is the scientific name? So unajua scientific name ya locust inaitwanga locust, Locusta migratoria. Migratoria is because they migrate from different places. The kingdom, and you give a reasons. The reason why you tell this kingdom inapatikana kwa kingdom fulani and you give a reason, we can say it's kingdom Animalia, and the reason it is multicellular. They feeds heterotrophical, like they depends on already made what? On already made food, and they lack a cell wall. That is the reason why you can say it is kingdom what? Kingdom Animalia. And the phylum, which phylum does it belong? The phylum that the locust belong, it is phylum Arthropoda. And the reasons, we can say it has the bodies is segmented, and the body has jointed appendages, and it has a exoskeleton which is made up of what? Chitin. And it also possesses a ventral nerve cord and an open circulatory what? An open circulatory system. Again, they can ask you to which class does it belong, and you give a reason. So when they ask you on the class, just know this is an animal, this is a locust, and a locust is found in class Insecta. And the reason why we say it is found in class Insecta, it is because the body is divided into three parts. We can see the head, we can see the thorax, and we can see the abdomen. And also it has 3 pairs of legs, that is 6 in total. It has a pair of antenna, and it has a compound eyes. It usually has 1, 2, or 2 pairs of wings also. Again, swali lingine wanaweza wakakutest kwa hii specimen C yetu ambayo ni kitu gani? ni locust. Wanaweza wakakuuliza what is the habitat of the locust and you give a reason. So in case you are being asked on matters habitat, hii inapatikana tu mainly on grasslands, field and open dry areas. And the reason why you say that is because it feeds on green vegetation, the grasses and crops, and it also has wings and legs that are adapted for jumping and flying on land, and it also has waterproof exoskeleton to reduce what? Water loss. Again, unaweza ukaulizwa what is the importance of that specimen of yours, specimen C, which is a locust in the ecosystem. So this locust, the importance of the locust in our ecosystem, it both has positive roles and negative roles. And for the positive roles, it serves as a food for birds, the reptiles and other predators. It also helps in nutrient recycling by decomposing the plant matter. Good. That is the positive roles. And again, on matters negative roles, it causes massive production to crops when they swarm. Imagine they come and they invade your land, they invade your farm of maize. They will cause harm, they'll cause a lot of destruction to your village or to your plantation or whatever that you'll have planted. And they reduce food supply and cause economic losses. Yeah, they cause a lot of economic losses. Again, you can be asked. You show the position of the locust. This is an ecology related type of a question too. They can tell you to draw a food chain, and you tell the locust to be as what? To be as a, let's say, as a primary consumer. So be in a position. Lastly, ana ile mamuda ya mwisho also, they can task you on matters gases exchange on this what? On this specimen of ours. Wanaweza wakatuletea story na nini? Wanaweza wakatuletea story na gases exchange about this animal. Like wanaweza wakakuuliza in the above specimen, what is its respiratory surface? So the respiratory surface of a locust, inakwanga the tracheals. And also, they can ask you describe the gaseous exchange in that specimen of yours. So when they ask you to describe the process of gaseous exchange, you just say air enters through the spiracles. These are the small openings on the sides of the body of an insect. Air moves into the trachea and then into fine tracheals that reach individual cells, and the oxygen diffuses from the tracheals into the body cells, and carbon dioxide diffuses out into the tracheals. And the ventilation occurs by the abdominal movements that push air in and out of what? Out of the system. That also matters gases exchange. Another thing, they can task you on growth and development, like you describe the metamorphosis cycle of this locust. So in case wanakuuliza the type of the metamorphosis, you can say it is incomplete metamorphosis, and the stages are from the egg to the nymph to the adult. Yeah, so that is in what? That is on matters growth and development. And wakikuuliza incomplete metamorphosis has no pupal stage, but for complete metamorphosis like the butterflies, it includes what? A pupal stage. Good. Wanaweza wakakuuliza pia kwa story na growth and development. These are, yani whatever we are doing here people, tunajaribu kufanya hapa, we are trying to be full, tukue tumejihami. Tukienda kwa exam practical, tukue tunajua all the possible questions that they can task us. All the possible questions that they can task us on these types of specimen that have been brought to us. So wanaweza wakakuuliza, you tell the type of growth curve in case you are doing what? In case you are sketching the type of a growth curve for this type of a specimen locust. So the type of this specimen type of a growth curve, it can be an S-shaped, sigmoid shaped growth curve, which has the lag phase, the log phase, the exponential phase. Yeah, so that's on matters what when you are being tasked. Wakikuuliza kwa story na nini? Kwa story na growth curve. Good. Another thing that they can task you, wanaweza wakakuuliza, you draw and label and state the function of the parts of the hind leg of the locust. So be in a position to label and draw the parts of what? The parts of a locust. And let me see, is there another thing that we can discuss? Yes. Also, they can bring you a question like you draw the mouth parts. Though like tunajami tu the mouth parts. Wanaweza kukuambia na uchore the mouth parts and you label the parts, and they can ask you the functions. So be in a position to do that. And they can also likely to ask you or test you on the feeding habitat, that the locust have. So the feeding habit, or not habitat, but the feeding habit is herbivorous, and reasons its mouth parts are adapted for chewing tough plant material, that is biting and grinding. So those are the possible type of questions that can be brought on this specimens of ours. Which specimen? Specimen A, which is the Sukuma Wiki, specimen B, which is the Lantana Camara, and specimen C, which is what? Which is the Locust. Sijasema ati sasa ndio maswali yote wataleta, hapana. They can choose among what we have discussed since the start of the video. So for yourself, you are needed to be exam ready, you need to be prepared. That is what we were to handle today. People, good luck, good luck, good luck. Na wakati unaenda kwa exam, 40 marks ni zetu zote. 40 marks ni zetu zote. Usiachie mtu hizo 40 marks. All those 40 marks are ours, tunazika kwa pocket na tunatoka kwa exam smiling, and we pray God atufanyie nini? Atufanyie favor for those markers that are going to mark our papers. Otherwise, people, thank you for watching up to now. Enjoy your time, enjoy your practicals, have a nice weekend in advance. For those that are finishing the exams, good luck. That is the 844. Hivyo ndo inakuanga, mambo itakuwa poa. Don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to share, don't forget to like, and don't forget to comment. Mambo itakuwa sawa. And the part A video is there. Part A eco. Just check on our videos, you'll check it. Otherwise, be blessed. Mambo itakuwa sawa. Hakuna story mingi. Mjibambe, tunasema tik. Mombasa Tuition and IT School. We love you people. Whether unatoka tribe gani, sisi tuko na nyinyi, sisi tuko pamoja. Pamoja my people. Be blessed. See you on the next slide. Boop, boop.